Okay, we are 1 week away from the election. On election night, November 5th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Brittany Page and I will be hosting right here at this very desk a live stream covering the election results starting at 6:30 p.m., like I said. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to be playing some videos, harkening backward. It's going to be a nostalgia train. And also, we're going to be covering the polls and the closing of the polls and the results as they come in. So I would invite you to join us that night. Bring a snack, bring a drink. It's going to be a good time. Let's talk about the continuing fallout of Madison Square Garden, the event, the fascist rally that Donald Trump held in New York City. The goal of which is still inexplicable. No one really knows because he has zero shot of winning New York City or New York State. And the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, I think never heard of him until this moment, but it's been revealed. I talked about this yesterday that these remarks were certainly approved by the campaign, that everything is vetted. When you get to this level of the campaign, meaning a presidential campaign, and when you get to this, where we are in the campaign progress-wise, I guess I can do it this way since we're going left to right for you. When you get to this level, everything's vetted, everything's covered. They don't want to make any mistakes in the final days, in the final 10 days at this point of the campaign. We're a week away, and they're still making these types of mistakes. It's being reported, as I stated, that they knew what he was going to say. And we know that because certain things that he was slated to say got nixed. Here's the headline I will be reading from after we play JD Vance telling everybody to take a chill pill. Just listen, with my 90s parlance and vernacular, let's just take a chill pill, y'all. It's just a funny joke when we malign the island of Puerto Rico and the American citizens who live there, Puerto Ricans. Here's the headline. Trump's shock comic was set to call Harris a Tony Hinchcliffe's set at Madison Square Garden wasn't great for the campaign. It could have been much worse. So, here's JD Vance just telling everybody to, let's lower the temperature. Let's just learn how to take a joke and take a chill pill.
Speaking of Madison Square Garden, last night during the pre-program, a comedian made several racist jokes that the campaign has since distanced itself from. Another speaker called Kamala Harris the Antichrist. Another called her the devil. You've talked before about former President Trump being able to unite the country. I'm curious, as we are entering this last stretch of campaigning, this final week, is that the right tone to have started this final 8 days with?
Well, first of all, I think that we've got to focus, Alec, I appreciate the question, but I think that we as a country, and I think that includes the press, it includes the Kamala Harris campaign, and it certainly includes our campaign, the way that we unite the country is to talk about the issues the American people care the most about. And what we're doing over the next 8 days is we're focused, laser focused, on how we're going to close the border, how we're going to make American lives more affordable again, how we're going to bring down the cost of housing. That's what we should be talking. I think a lot of Americans are sick of the distractions and sick of the BS. They want our candidates to talk about how they're going to solve the people's problems. And that's what we ought to do. Now, I've heard about the joke. I haven't actually seen the joke that you mentioned, but I think that it's telling that Kamala Harris's closing message is essentially that all of Donald Trump's voters are Nazis and you should get really pissed off about a comedian telling a joke. That is not the message of a winning campaign. And most importantly, it's not the message of a person who's fit to be the president of the United States of America. And my own view on this is, look, again, I haven't seen the joke. Maybe it's a stupid racist joke, as you said. Maybe it's not. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to comment on the specifics of the joke. But I think that we have to stop getting so offended at every little thing in the United States of America. I'm so over it. I mean, somebody sent me a couple days ago, and they were kind of pissed off about it. Maybe it was yesterday, of this comedian George Lopez, who had made a joke at a Kamala Harris rally. And he basically, like, the point was, he was trying to make a joke. It was against Mexicans, and I forget the exact context. But if you wanted to look at it a particular way, you could say that was a racist joke. And this person, in fact, was encouraging me to sort of, blow this up and make this about how Kamala Harris doesn't respect Latinos. And my response was, can we all just take a chill pill and take a joke from time to time? This is ridiculous. Our country... Our country was built by frontiersmen who conquered the wilderness. We're not going to restore the greatness of American civilization if we get offended at every little thing. Let's have a sense of humor, and let's have a little fun, and let's go win in 8 days. God bless you all. Thank you.
Don't you love the rhetorical device that he uses there? I mean, and by love, I mean, it's just so stupid and obvious. Anytime there's a massive controversy surrounding Donald Trump or the Donald Trump campaign or some idiot surrogate who made racist, insane comments at a rally, it's, look, I think what the American people really want to do is focus on the issues right now. It's issues. Except it wasn't issues when this douchebag comedian called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. When he said that Latinos, they love to come inside like they're doing to our country. Like when he made a joke about a black person in the audience having a watermelon carving contest. It wasn't all about the issues then. Only when there's controversy does he want to distract from what's happening. And then, of course, can we all just take a chill pill and take a joke from time to time? This is ridiculous. Is it, JD Vance? Your campaign approved those remarks. They weren't a bridge too far. They weren't far off the mark. They were just as much about the issues as the issues were. JD? You know what? I can't wait until JD Vance no longer has Secret Service protection so he could be approached on the Capitol Mall or in the Capitol complex going from building to building, and people can tell him exactly what they think of him. It's going to be nice when he's just a regular senator and not under the protection of the United States Secret Service. And I don't mean for violence sake. That's not at all what I mean. I mean, so someone can approach him and they can tell him what a he is. Here is the article. Again, the headline, Trump shock comic was set to call Harris a Tony Hinchcliffe said at Madison Square Garden wasn't great for the campaign. It could have been much worse. Donald Trump's campaign was left scrambling Sunday night after a roast comic, Tony Hinchcliffe made insulting jokes about Hispanic and black people on stage at the ex-president's Madison Square Garden rally. The line sparked immediate backlash and even condemnation from fellow Republicans, but 4 top campaign sources said it could have been even worse. Quote, he had a joke calling Vice President Kamala Harris a campaign insider involved in the discussions about the event told the Bulwark. Let's say it was a red flag. Hinchcliffe's remarks and the ensuing backlash has sparked questions about how such an offensive speech was allowed at such a high-profile rally, whether it was deliberate, and why a presidential campaign would elevate a roastmaster comic edgelord in the closing days of a tight race for the White House. I think that is a very charitable description of Tony Hinchcliffe. A roast master, comic edgelord. Had you ever heard of him before this? I don't think he's a master of anything other than anonymity. Campaign staffers had asked all speakers to submit drafts of their speeches ahead of time before they were loaded into the teleprompter. According to the aforementioned sources, once the objectionable joke was spotted, the sources said, a staffer asked Hinchcliffe to strike it. He complied. But we need to take a chill pill. It's us that can't take a joke. Listen, if I was going to political rallies and my political candidates for my comedy, I could understand that. But I don't know any reasonable, rational person who does that. That's not the role you serve. JD Vance is delivering the funny. You're here to propose policies to make our lives better, our country better. Not to accept your prescription of a bottle of chill pills. Dipshit. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That'll help YouTube show this content to new subscribers or potential subscribers. That would be fantastic. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work, helping produce the videos on this channel. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Great ways to help support the work. Follow me on social media. Make sure you click the link below, and set a reminder for our live stream on election night. It's going to be a good time, and we look forward to having you join us. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.